Hello, Baba and Nyonya. This is a special chakap version. I have the younger members with me. Let me introduce this James Chua and Francesca Soh. Yeah, sorry. And then of course our GC member Charmaine Nyo as our secretary in GC. The reason I wanted to talk to them is to encourage the younger members in our community to come forward and volunteer their expertise or the services or what they are good for. Maybe they can help us in TPAS. For example, James has been a volunteer for TPAS for many years. Before COVID, then during the COVID, we did a video show, right?
The virtual fashion show.
A virtual fashion show. And it was so interesting. It was a shooting in Emerald Hill. So the models were there changing and showing jewelry and kabaya. If you all remember that during COVID, we have our the gala, but it's delivered to home.
Yes.
Now James is still supporting us with the videography and photography for our videos, monthly chakap, and also other events that if we do have like fashion show and all that, he and his team will help us.
Right.
And Francesca, you started a few years ago.
Yes.
And I remember you wrote to us you want to volunteer your service of when you graduated photography and videography. What's your So then we met you at the
Cooking demo.
Yes. And from then till now you still continue to do the video for the cooking demonstration. Thank you very much, both of you. And of course, Charmaine, you all have met. I do not have to introduce Charmaine, but they're all younger members of TPAS. So would you like to talk about your work and how we can encourage?
I think first of all, people will have to know like what we are and what we do. So basically, I run a platform which is called The Fashion and Beyond. There's a long story about like why the name was like fashion related, because I was a artist management person, artist management like a manager for an artist. And back then I was kind of like intrigued to do good things for fashion industry. I love fashion, just that I'm not a fashion model myself, right? So artist management is something that I feel like it's good for aspiring talents to explore different things. And in fact, we kind of like realized there's a lot of young people who wants to go into fashion, but it's always so exclusive. So in 2022, end of 2022, I decided like, why not I give it the last push, like creating a platform that I've always wanted to create. So was thinking about a name, and I started off with fashion, and I'm a photographer myself, and I have a team of like videographers, those behind the camera right now. Right.
Yes, now with us is Ian Park and YK. Thank you very much. You all have been also volunteering our chakap video.
Correct. So so fashion relates to many other stuff, like fashion models. We have photographers, videographers. We have makeup artists. We have stylists. We have fashion designers. Basically, all these are the disciplines of talents that form up the industry. Actually, so I told myself, okay, why not we have a platform to put all these people together, and aspiring talents, they need to explore and find what they truly want to do. Like for example, I didn't know I could do photography. Until the day where I picked up a camera, and then I questioned myself, like, why is it so difficult? Because all of us, we always think that taking a camera and take picture, you will achieve that kind of results, but it's actually more than that.
Mm.
Yeah, so for people who wants to try out different things, I think they should just be given the opportunity to try. That's what we do as a platform. For TPAS, we are a volunteer, right? Because we believe in promoting culture as well. And I think all of you have noticed one thing is that from the past, when we were working with Francesca, with Carlos, we were just like three of us holding cameras, no lightings, nothing, right? And I felt like there should be something that can be done. We have all the lighting in our studio. Why not bring it out? So I told my team like, let's do this for TPAS. Okay, we increase the quality. We set a benchmark. Okay, because I think in the current society, we are all so much more on social media. We should let people see us more on a professional level. We would like to encourage younger people to join our team, okay, and also to be a volunteer for TPAS. There are, I believe there's many things that the younger people can actually contribute.
Yes.
Right, and we provide opportunities for them to learn different things as well.
Correct.
Yeah, on a professional manner. In fact, those behind the cameras right now, they are very young.
Yeah.
Yeah, straight YK straight out from national service, right? Ian just graduated. Yeah, from media broadcasting, right?
Media broadcasting.
Yes, correct. Like live streams, all those kind of things. Like Francesca mentioned. Yeah, and working with her for since when?
A year lah. A year?
No, more than a year.
I think more than that.
More than a year.
Yeah,
Flies.
the first time we had the filming was
after COVID, I think.
May 2022.
Huh?
The end of 2022. Probably, yeah.
After COVID.
Yeah, I think no, mid of 2022. Before I go to Korea.
Oh yeah.
Yes, because I went missing for a period of time because I was traveling, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, I think for Francesca we did a few projects together as well. So like by volunteering, you're actually sowing seeds. Yeah. So people ask me like, aren't you tired? From time to time, I'll be like, oh, it's very tiring.
But you feel fulfilled. The fulfillment, you know. Then you get home, you don't feel tired, you feel happy.
Yeah. So by giving out your services, okay, it's not all the time about ROI. It's all about, you know, getting to know people, getting to do the work to improve on the skills that you have, by providing the rest of the people a chance to explore. Yeah. Right. And yeah, I think they definitely benefit from it. Yeah, not just the organization or the association. Yeah. Right. So everyone, whatever we do, we always think about, okay, how can we benefit both sides?
Francesca, tell us your experience from day one when you met me.
Day one at the Rumah came through there.
Right, yeah. That's after we received your email.
Yes.
That you want to volunteer the service. Yes. And until now, that's how many years?
3
years?
Almost
yeah.
3 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell us your experience and how do you feel. I think this is important for the younger members in our community who will feel like they want to also, you know, come forward to help TPAS.
I think I first reached out to TPAS because I wanted to reconnect with my Peranakan roots. Because I didn't know much of my grandparents. So then I was googling like Peranakan stuff and I saw the website.
Yes.
Looking for volunteers. So I wrote in, oh, I can be a photographer. And then my first day I was late. On cooking that I was late.
And what did I tell you?
You were so furious. You were so angry at me. I was so scared. But then I think over time, working together, you also, by volunteering, I think it also helps build a lot of character, personal development.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think it's, as what James said, it's beneficial for both sides.
Yes. And you feel happy that you will continue volunteer your service.
Honor.
Yeah, good. And who knows, both of you maybe one day will be in our general committee, to also share with other committee member, what you know and we have to learn. Especially now it's going into high-tech AI, we don't know. Okay, Charmaine already in the GC. Maybe Charmaine want to share being are you the youngest or you're the second youngest in our GC?
Yeah.
The experience of being in
Okay. So I didn't join the GC for very long. It's quite a recent thing. But I have been involved in TPAS for a while because my family, my mom's side especially, very involved as a Peranakan. When I was growing up, my grandmother only wore sarong kebaya. So as I was growing up, I thought it was quite a natural thing for people to, wear a lot of like bling bling and sarong kebayas. It's only when I started growing up and then realizing that other families are a bit different from ours, or rather I should say our family is a bit different, then I became more interested in the culture. And I think like a lot of people, and also young people these days, the gateway to them being introduced to Peranakan culture is really through two things: food and fashion. And fashion, recently Raymond got the Cultural Stewardship Award. So I think that is really a very resounding endorsement of the Peranakan culture and the actual craft that goes into making kebayas and batik. So I myself, why I decided to volunteer is because I don't want to see this culture dying out. I think there's a lot of rich history behind it. But of course, Peranakans, as I believe one of the recent interviewees talked about, it's an ever-evolving culture. So it's not stagnant. It's not as if the sarong kebaya can only be like that. So that's why today also I decided to wear something that is considered a more modern interpretation. It's not really the traditional one, but it's more of still some embroidery, but a little bit different. And of course, us modern nyonyas don't really always want to wear sarong, so we wear batik pants or batik shirts like Francesca. So I think there's a lot of opportunity to develop the culture. So I really do encourage young people to come and join the association, share your thoughts, follow the example of Raymond, right? He is really doing so much to advance our culture and yet keep the heritage strong. So I really am quite excited about that, right? It's so exciting to see how people can come in, bring and inject their new fresh ideas and yet retain that core of our Peranakan culture. And of course, like all of us love food. Like Francesca was also, first introduced to us with a cooking demo. So again, there's also a rich opportunity to, develop also newer and more interesting ways of interpreting our culture, the food, right? But yet retaining that same core, all the like rempas and all that. I myself, I have really enjoyed my time in the GC. It's quite an experience dealing with a lot of chili padi. But it's interesting, definitely interesting.
And you also bring along a new baby to our GC.
Yes, that's true. Yeah,
baby.
I just gave birth 2 months ago. So a new baby chili padi to the family. But so I also came back to the recent GC meeting quite soon because I did miss the monthly GC.
Okay, that's good to hear that.
So the interactions and all that, I think the thing about Peranakan is that we are really very warm. The GC is really like a family. All of us look out for each other. So I do encourage more people, whether young or old, to just volunteer your time, volunteer your talents, right? I think there's definitely a lot more in the way that Peggy wants to develop. And also the association, but of course with Peggy spearheading it. I think we want to go in a lot of interesting different directions, right, Peggy? So I do encourage more people to come forward and rejuvenate our GC.
Rejuvenate is the word. Thank you, Charmaine. Good thinking, and I hope all of you enjoy, and maybe we will receive email or hear somebody call and say they want to volunteer the service.
Can I add on something?
Yes.
Like I'm not a Peranakan,
Yeah.
right? So it doesn't matter whether you're a Peranakan or you're not
Yeah.
Peranakan.
Yes. Yes.
Right? I think as long as you have a heart for the culture,
Yes.
Exactly.
okay. We need to tell ourselves, like, you know, culture is something that is in the root of us. Yeah, whether or not you are exactly one of them.
Yeah.
I think we should just pass on this to the younger ones.
Yes.
Because I think the younger generation really losing it, you know, in terms of culture,
Correct.
right?
Yeah.
And Singapore, in this society, like in Singapore per se, it's very hard for us to hold a culture because we are very mixed.
Yes.
Like what Charmaine mentioned just now, in one of the interviewee that we interviewed, it's a ever revolving kind of society right now.
Yes.
There's no right or wrong, so don't be too you know, fixated in the sense that
that's
you
right.
must be a Peranakan, then you can wear kabaya.
no,
it
no,
doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. Actually, Peranakan didn't even exist, right? We created that culture.
Yes,
of our
exactly.
own.
And Peranakan, there's so much more. You know, recently we had the interview with Gilbert, and then we had the interview with Peter.
Yes.
And that's when I realized, like, it's dated way back, like almost 200,
More than that.
200 years ago. And Peranakans are not just Chinese, Malay, there's Indian.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, and
Arab.
Arabs, and it's like a lot more, right?
Yeah.
So there's so much more that we can talk about.
Yes.
And yeah, do come forward if you are interested in, you know, being part of this. And the Peranakan Association, as a volunteer myself, is truly an experience.
Thank you, James. Well said.
Yeah.
Thank you. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Bye.